Hi guys, welcome to this update video. I trust and hope you're doing really great. So today is Sunday the 19th of July and we've got a tropical situation unfolding in the Gulf of Mexico. You can see here all of this activity. Now this is associated with what is now classified as Tropical Depression 2. So this area was marked recently over the past few days for some potential development, and that formation chance had gradually increased and it became an area of investigation being closely watched for development, and now it is indeed developing into a tropical cyclone. And aside from that, there was a tropical wave that recently entered the eastern Caribbean. You can see some moisture around in the Windward Islands here. We'll be talking about that later on, but the primary focus will be Depression number 2. So the system had developed a defined low-level center of circulation, one of the key factors for it to be classified as a tropical depression, and right now it is sustaining maximum winds up to 30 miles per hour, and it's moving very slowly to the north-northwest at only 2 miles per hour. So there isn't a very strong steering mechanism right now. The system is kind of sandwiched between two areas of high pressure, so it's not going to be moving very quickly for the very near future. Eventually, though, it will be picking up its pace to the west. So let's talk about that in a bit more detail. So we've got the cone forecast here from the National Hurricane Center, and the Florida Panhandle is currently under a tropical storm watch. You can see this yellow highlight. So tropical storm conditions will be possible over the next 2 days. Eventually, we may see this upgraded to a tropical storm warning. So heavy rain, gusty winds, that will definitely be possible. With all that rainfall, there could certainly be periods of, or instances rather, for some flooding to take place. So that is going to be a big concern. So we can see that it's barely going to be moving over the next couple of days. So this is the current position of it, and by Tuesday morning, we can see that it's not going to be moving much, so it will be sitting over some warm waters. But as we know, that's not the only factor which pretty much determines how much a system will strengthen. We can see here as well, again, as I mentioned, winds up to 30 miles per hour, and it is accelerating to the northwest at 2 miles per hour. So eventually, as we head through Tuesday, going into the middle of the week, Wednesday, and later this week, it will be moving to the west a lot faster, and it's going to be very close to land, likely making landfall in southern Louisiana. And the closer it stays to land, while it will be bringing those dangerous impacts regarding the heavy rainfall, that could also limit intensification. So in terms of the conditions out there, let's talk a bit about that. This is the wind shear map. It may look a bit confusing, but the different colors pretty much show whether the shear or those upper level winds are favorable or not. So these green lines indicate favorable upper level wind, meaning that they're not too strong to significantly prevent any intensification from happening. There's also the yellow lines indicating a neutral shear, not too strong but not too weak, not very favorable either. And then the red lines indicate strong upper level winds, not at all favorable for any significant intensification to take place. So just in the vicinity of the disturbance, we have some moderate shear that is moving in. So that will kind of help out to limit any quick intensification of the system. So it will likely gradually strengthen over the coming days. Not expected to become a hurricane, by the way, but it is likely to strengthen. And then for the sea surface temperatures, as we take a look at that graphic here, we can see by the way, this is in degrees Celsius. You can see that here. This is the latest update as of earlier today. So we can see that just where the system is very warm, very favorable for some decent strengthening to take place. But because of those upper level winds being a little bit more on the moderate side, and also some dry air, we're not going to see any very quick strengthening happen with the system. But the water temperatures are well on their way. As it relates to the different models, because different computer models are out there, and the system here is being designated as Invest 91L because that was a designation when it was just an area of investigation, but it has since been upgraded to a tropical depression. So based on what the tracks are showing here, we can see that there's kind of a general agreement with the system moving slowly, kind of more to the northwest, going to the west-northwest, and eventually off to the west. And again, if it's closer to land, that's going to be helping to limit strengthening. If it's more over water, then it will likely strengthen a bit more. So we can see that there is some consensus with that. Same for the intensity guidance. None of the models are expecting that the system will become a hurricane. This green shade in here represents tropical storm intensity or tropical storm force winds. And most of our models are agreeing that that will be the maximum strength of the tropical depression. So it says the Bertha is definitely on the way. And that's what we have going on for it. As we return to the satellite imagery, because the winds within an area of low pressure rotate in a counterclockwise fashion, we can see that here if you look very closely. So we're going to have some moisture feeding into Florida throughout today going into tomorrow, especially the western part of the state. So this is definitely going to be helping out to influence lots more showers and thunderstorms eventually as the system drifts in this general direction. Other parts of the Gulf Coast will be experiencing those dangerous impacts. And as for the surface chart, here we're seeing the other tropical waves out there. Here's the tropical wave which recently entered the Eastern Caribbean, helping to influence some rain for parts of the southeastern region. As we look at the rain forecast, we can see that being depicted here as well. So more color means more rain. So lots of rain in the vicinity of the depression. So for Western Florida, it's going to be pretty active. And as we head towards the Caribbean region, for much of the northern islands, just a few scattered showers will be possible. Same story for the Bahamas, going to the Turks and Caicos Islands. For most of the Leeward Islands, it's going to be on the dry side. Rain chance will be increasing further to the south towards Trinidad. And we could possibly see some rain just near the ABC Islands. I'm sure that will be much appreciated because it's been so dry. And then for northern South America, Guyana, Venezuela, Colombia, going to Central America, Panama, Costa Rica, parts of Nicaragua will also be quite active, and then that rain chance gradually decreases further to the north. So that's what we have going on, guys, regarding the weather update. We have a tropical depression that is expected to intensify over the coming days, and I will be keeping you posted on it as necessary. So that's it for now. I do hope you found this video to be informative. If you have any questions, as always, you can feel free to drop them in the comments. I'll get to you when I can. And remember to always be weatherwise.